Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Halftime.
Yes, sir. It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at sasportsstar.com. My name is Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champ, filling in for Rob and Carl. It's a special day today because I have a special guest. Joining me right now is Lance Harbor, quarterback of West Canaan High. What's going on, my man?
Let's go Coyotes!
Woo! Now, for those of you who are watching this on Facebook Live or on YouTube, James Pledger is my co-host today. We're going till 2 o'clock, but he is dressed as Lance Harbor, Paul Walker's character from Varsity Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you are rocking that jersey hard, my man.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
Is it?
Yeah, I literally just said that.
Well, this is a debate because one of the things that I love doing to Pledger is, you know, we think the night before about certain topics to talk about. And obviously we're going to talk a lot about sports today. All right. But the thing is that I brought out on Twitter a question about Varsity Blues. Is it a top 10 sports movie of all time? Made a poll out of it, and Pledger was all about it.
I felt personally attacked.
So much so that you are wearing the blue number 7 jersey of a fictional quarterback, and it fits. What is that, like a boy's large? What is that?
Medium. No, I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I found a place that had like legit game-worn jerseys from the movie, and I got one. I copped one. It's got the state championships.
And you didn't get me a Mox jersey?
I didn't know you were a fan.
Dude, some of these...
It sounds to me like you don't even like the movie at all.
Some of these names, Lance Harbor, what a great character name for a Texas quarterback. Jonathan Moxon, Billy Bob. There's some really good names there, man. I'm super excited to talk about that. At 1:30, we're going to break it down. We're going to go deep into this movie. Is it really a top 10 sports movie of all time? Also today at 12:30, we have Jeff Garcia of Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs to talk to us about that heartbreaking loss last night. The Spurs lost in overtime to the LA Lakers. I have a problem with that game. 2 problems with that game. And it has nothing to do with how the Spurs played. One was Keldon Johnson got manhandled and no one came to his defense. Had a problem with that. And what was up with all the Laker jerseys at the AT&T Center? We really need to go into this.
That's your problem?
Yes.
The Laker fans that showed up in full force.
So again, Jeff Garcia will be with us at 12:30. At 1 o'clock, let's talk some Dallas Cowboys. They're back in action this weekend. I saw the funniest tweet. It's from a Cowboys fan and said, hey, man, we can't overlook the Minnesota Vikings because that's the best quarterback that we've seen in over a month. And I thought about it and I was like, is it? And I went back into the schedule. Have the Cowboys been benefiting from having a cupcake schedule? And it was so funny because this tweet that she made was honest. She wasn't trying to make fun of the whole situation. So are the Cowboys just benefiting from a cupcake schedule? We will talk about that. And then, of course, again at 1:30, Varsity Blues. And at some point, Sean Elliott, my man, has beef still. 20 years later, did you hear what he said last night about Dennis Rodman? We're going till 2 o'clock today on the San Antonio Sports Star. Again, this is halftime. My name is Michael Jimenez. My Twitter handle is at 210 Fantasy Guy. James Pledger is at I Am Pledger. Edwin Hafner is producing this fine show. But man, I am excited about this show because I'm rested. I had to take a nap before this show.
You had to take a nap before the show when 2 guys rolled in and literally did the morning show on 0 sleep and were up for over 28 hours by the time they left the building. You needed a nap.
Yeah, they looked fried, man. They looked fried. I normally take a nap at 3 o'clock every day. People know, do not call me from 3 to 3:20. It is nap time. I am out. By 2:55, I am just on fumes. But last night, with those storms coming in, man, I woke up like 4:30 this morning. Woke up at 4:30, I had dogs going up and jumping up and down like crazy. My wife was getting up for work. She turned on all the lights, and I could not go back to sleep. So, I got the kids off to school, had a little bit of breakfast. Like, man, I got halftime at noon, show up at the station at 11:30. And I was like, why am I so tired? So then I felt bad. It's weird because I rely on you on certain things. And I called you and I said, can you do me a favor and wake me up in 30 minutes? like I don't have an alarm on my phone, right?
And I did.
I appreciate it.
You feel better?
A
little refreshed?
I do. I was trying to explain our relationship to my wife yesterday. And I said, I was watching a rerun, an old episode of Scrubs, and you have JD and Turk.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's my relationship with Pledger. He is the JD to my Turk. I hope you're okay with that.
Yes, very much so. I would think that perfectly describes what this is.
Now, let me ask you this.
Sneak hug.
Sneak hug. Let me ask you this. Did you get knocked out of bed because of the storms, or did you sleep right through it all?
5:30, I woke up, heard the thunder and lightning, and it sounded like it was pouring outside. Saw my roommates, the lights in the living room were on because my roommate was getting ready for work. Rolled back over, went straight back to bed.
You don't have kids. That's the thing. I had to get up.
Why?
I have to make them breakfast. See them to the bus.
4:30?
Well, no, it's just one of those. My dogs were not going to let me go back to sleep. I have 3 dogs. That is the problem. So, man, but I'm glad the weather looks nice. Normally around this time, I roll in with food, but I'm afraid to eat right now.
Why?
Because what I had for breakfast. Do you ever have like one of those meal simples from HEB?
Oh yeah, those are great.
They are great. Okay. But what I didn't realize was the shelf life of them.
About 2-3 days.
Okay. So if I ate one today that said good until October 20th, and today's the 27th.
Oh.
Okay. I got all excited when I saw them. I was like, this looks delicious. This looks delicious.
What was it?
It was a cheesy chicken fajita.
Oh, it was chicken
thing. Yes, it was chicken.
Oh.
Well, okay. Let me explain something. My wife and we spend a lot of money on food.
Do I
Going out
keep
to
the
eat.
door open in case you got to run to the bathroom at some
I'm
point?
afraid. I didn't have lunch. Because I'm afraid. I'm absolutely afraid of this.
You are taking this, I'm going to get down to 30, 35 pounds extremely seriously.
That's going to be the easy way, right? Because over the weekend, my wife was at the fridge just throwing away food. And when she was throwing away food, she was throwing away those meals because she was saying that they were bubbling over, like the packaging was bubbling over. And every time she put one in the trash can, that was like throwing $7 down the toilet, right?
Yeah.
And I saw her move 4 of them, but she didn't see 2 that were in the back. And I just couldn't throw it away. And there's another one that's still there that says good until October 23rd or best by October 23rd. I would feel
better about that one.
Yeah, but that one's also chicken.
Usually I give it 2 to 3 days. That's about it. It's like milk. How long after the date do you trust milk?
I would say about 3 days.
And same for food, especially chicken.
It's just money, man. It's just throwing it all away. We suck.
So you're risking food poisoning for $7.
Dude, I ate half a donut today for breakfast because it was there. We throw away so much food and it's all money, man. We threw away like 4 or 5 of those meal simples, are all like between $6 and $8. We threw away half a dozen of donuts that we got on a Saturday. We throw away so much, and all these like leftovers that we take home from restaurants that we have like intentions of eating. We never do. It never happens.
You know what that tells me? You eat out too much.
I do.
Because if you're going to buy all those meals simple, those are meals to get you through a week, basically. So if you're buying multiple, and it sounds like 4 or 5 that you're throwing away, you are planning to eat at home all week, and then you eat out all week.
Looking at Facebook Live right now.
Am I close?
Yes. It's interesting because I'm taking a look at it. It's all good intentions. We buy all this food to say that we're not going to go out to eat. but we do anyway.
Mhm.
You know, I threw out cheese yesterday, just slices of cheese, you know, got moldy bread. And I just started adding it up on my head. I'm thinking to myself, am I really saving money by going grocery shopping? Now I am eating healthier, but it's more expensive to eat healthy when you're trying to be, you know, low carb and stuff like that. But man, we're getting a lot of comments already on Facebook Live. By the way, you can join us on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube. Go on the San Antonio Sports Stars page, like, subscribe, watch. It alerts you when the show starts.
As you're trying to get to this goal weight and now expediting that process by trying to endure food poisoning,
Yeah.
you're very excited about this, and because you want to reach this weight, and you've been like, we are going new clothes shopping when I hit my target weight of, what was it, 35 pounds?
35 pounds, yeah.
And you're very excited about this. I don't believe you understand what you've embarked upon and trying to get me to go clothes shopping with you.
Yeah, so that was a thing from a couple of days ago. You and I were having a conversation. I was telling you that, you know, my wife has spent a lot of money on new clothes. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. She's down 35 pounds, but beyond that, she works out. She's muscular. She's built, and she looks great. I've lost a significant amount of weight. I've lost 30 pounds. And I told Pledge, I said, Pledge, you need to take me clothes shopping. And I need you to teach to be like Crazy Stupid Love and told me be better than the Gap. So where are you taking me for clothes?
I'm going to take you to a whole bunch of places. I mean, I'm not a one-place shopper. I like to move around through multiple departments.
No, are we actually going to physical stores, or are we going to be like shopping online?
Ash, you got to go clothes shopping in person more so than online. I don't like online shopping because I don't know the fit of what I'm buying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how's it actually going to fit? Because, you know, there are certain things that just fit better than others. Now, if it's something I've bought before and I know the fit of it, I'll venture online for it. But for the most part, for clothes, especially like t-shirts, because I got to know, is it a slim fit? Is it a baggy fit? Like, how is it going to fit me? Because I'm not a baggy fit kind of guy for the most part.
I don't think I'm skinny enough to do a skinny fit or a thin fit type of shirt.
Not a skinny fit, but there is a certain fit to where the shoulders and the arms fit a certain way while leaving some leeway in the midsection still.
How much money do I need to bring with me?
Your life savings?
I picture you. Who was that character on Crazy Stupid Love?
Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling, yeah. I picture you, you know, throwing my shoes from the escalator, you know, saying, you know, I'm not going to wear New Balance shoes.
Oh, you are definitely not wearing New Balance shoes. Unless...
Are we going to La Cantera? Where are we going?
They're the DeJounte Murray Fiesta style. I'll let you wear them. I'll let you rock those.
Okay.
But you're not wearing the, like, Air Dad New Balances.
Okay, no Asics.
God, no.
Don't look down.
And
right
here's
now.
the
I'm wearing my Asics right now.
Here's the thing. Unless it's a shoe that complements an outfit, I'm not sure if I'm taking you sneaker shopping. I might be getting you like some nice boots with like a zip on the side.
I've never worn boots in my entire life.
Oh man, you don't know what you're missing.
Now you're talking about like
it pulls an outfit together.
What kind of boots are we talking about here? We're talking about cowboy boots, or are we talking about more of a dressy?
It's boots? A dress boot with a zip on the side.
Interesting.
On the inner heel.
Now, all I ask is one thing: that I am able to wash my own clothes. That whole dry cleaning only thing, no, man. I can't do that. I can't go to a dry cleaners. It's 2021. Why am I going to a dry cleaners?
Because a vest cannot be washed.
We're going vest shopping.
We might be. It depends. I got to find a vest and a fit that I like.
Like I said, at your birthday party 6 months ago, we're vesties, baby. I showed up to your birthday party wearing a vest because I knew you'd be wearing a vest. But one of the things I do want you to buy me, or at least show me where to get, I do want to get one of those jerseys.
Oh, a Lance Harbor one? Or a John Moxon one?
Just somebody. Just not Tweeter, because as we'll discuss around 1:30, Tweeter might be canceled if that movie came out today.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah, I'm not the one doing the canceling.
Are we going to get in a work fight?
Yes, we are. But for right now, let's talk some sports. Here's Pledger with the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Houston Texans chairman and CEO Cal McNair has apologized yesterday for following a report that he made an anti-Asian comment at a team charity golf tournament back in May. According to Bally Sports, which spoke to several individuals who were present for the remark, McNair used a racial slur referring to COVID-19 to attendees at the Houston Texans Foundation Charity Golf Classic at River Oaks Country Club in May, using a phrase also used by former President Donald Trump to describe the pandemic. Soon after he made the comment, McNair apologized to the individuals who were present still around him before starting the golf outing, and McNair has since apologized as of yesterday, saying, quote, "My comments at the event last May include an inappropriate choice of words. I immediately apologized to people who approached me, and then I apologized again. Now, I now know how important it is to choose my words more carefully. I would never want to offend anyone," end quote.
Of course he wants to offend somebody. I'm sorry. If you are using that type of language, you're wanting to offend somebody. That's the whole point of saying it. I don't buy any of these apologies or I need to reword what I'm saying. You don't have to reword anything. You need to change how you feel towards people. So this is yet another billionaire who feels superior to others. And it's just, I mean, I'm not surprised at any of this.
Nor should you be.
Headline 1.
Because in headline 1, the NFL's investigation into the Washington football team won't be released amid pressure. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell doubled down on Tuesday with the league's decision not to make the public results of its investigation into the workplace culture at the Washington football team, saying the anonymity of the people who cooperated with the investigation was too high a priority to allow the league to do so. This directly ties into headline 2 because the NFL knows
something's up.
Once you release these things, much like John Gruden, that ball's going to roll downhill and not in a good way.
It's amazing that this all comes out months and in some cases years later. Again, not surprised by any of this, but the question about keeping the identity secret, that is a big deal because those people have jobs, they have families, they have incomes that they need to protect. So I will buy that, but this has to come out somehow and they have to get in front of it.
The NFL is bunkering down and the owners are rallying to try to protect themselves, it feels like. Moving on.
Headline 0.
Last night, Atlanta Braves pitcher Charlie Morton fractures his fibula in Game 1 of the World Series win against the Houston Astros, in which they won 6-2. Morton had retired back-to-back hitters despite taking a 102-mile-per-hour one-hopper off the bat of Astros first baseman Yuli Gurriel and finished that inning. Morton underwent an initial X-ray that, according to Braves manager Brian Snitker, didn't reveal a break. He threw some balls against the net, surmised that the pain was tolerable. When he wasn't running around and came back out for the bottom of the third inning, 6 pitches later, Morton's season would end. He threw 16 pitches on a broken leg.
Amazing. This is the baseball I want to see. I'm not a big baseball fan, but yesterday's game was pretty exciting. It got off to a hot start early with a home run on the third pitch of the game.
Ugh.
Yes, the Astros lost, but man, this whole thing about Morton going out there, this goes above that Kurt Schilling bloody sock. This goes above.
What?
It does, man. Come on. Are you telling me that Schilling's heroics in the World Series 15 years ago was greater than a broken leg?
Yes. This was a stapled together Achilles tendon he was pitching on that had ruptured, and he's pitching through this ruptured Achilles tendon during a time where the Red Sox were still cursed by the curse of the Bambino. This isn't the Red Sox that won a whole bunch of World Series. This is the Bill Buckner Red Sox, where anything that could go wrong did go wrong. And this guy gutted up and pitched through an Achilles tendon that was bleeding out during an
Fine.
important game.
Fine, it's a tie, okay?
Oh, no.
But there's no such thing as a curse of the Bambino, but there is such a thing, apparently, as the curse of Rob Thompson, the Mambo Kings, and Rudy J.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to dive into that.
That's the 411 and the 210.
The curse of the Bambino was real. The curse of the Billy Goat was real. And the curse of the Mambo Kings is real. Rob Thompson has formally admitted that there is a curse of the Mambo Kings. And Rob Thompson gets himself some tickets for him and Rudy J to go on down to Houston to watch game 1 of the World Series, where my initial thought is, this can only end poorly. To which 3 pitches into the game, it did.
Now, I don't understand. Why is it a curse? Has this happened before?
This has happened multiple times before, including this season. Do you own Christian McCaffrey in any leagues?
I own him in 2 leagues.
You can thank Rob Thompson for that.
So he's like the Madden curse in real life?
Yes. He is a walking epitome of the Madden curse.
Wow.
He will tell you that anybody that is highly drafted or important to a fantasy football team that he is drafted, he will apologize in advance because that person will suffer some sort of catastrophic injury, like something weird where Christian McCaffrey pulls a hamstring, goes on the IR for 3 games. That's it. 3 games. He's back. He's practicing, re-injures it, back onto the IR, never to be seen again.
Are there any other instances? Has this been for years and years and years, or is it a recent development?
This is, according to Rob Thompson, a year-long curse. And to be fair, he is an Aggie that has battered Aggie syndrome.
So why did he go if he knew that this was going to happen?
That's the question. But
and why didn't anybody stop him?
Even if you were cursed, would you turn down World Series opportunity?
No.
If you were cursed and you got tickets to go see the New Orleans Saints play in the Superdome in the Super Bowl, would you turn that down? Even if you were cursed?
Are the Astros his team?
No, that's the problem.
So how is it a curse if it's not his team?
Because he was cheering for him when he went there.
Okay. And how is Rudy J involved in all of this? Was he just along for the ride, or is he cursed as well?
He is not cursed. To my knowledge, Rudy, you may be cursed. I'm not sure. He's probably mid-nap right now.
So they were up for 28 hours, came back, got home around 2 or 3 in the morning. We're back on the air, probably lost sleep because of the rain and whatnot.
They didn't sleep last night.
All for a loss.
All for a loss.
But it was exciting, though. I heard on R&R in the morning that they hadn't even found their seats yet, and they're like, we're losing 1-0?
No. Not only had they not found their seats yet, Rob was there. Rudy was in line getting all of the things that he needed to get from the team store or whatever, the hats and the beers. And Rob's at the seats, and Rudy's working his way over to him. And as soon as Rudy sits down, home run. So Rob tried to shift the curse this morning on R&R from what I could gather.
I have a hard time shopping for clothes at a sporting event. Why would somebody shop for clothes at a sporting event? I mean, I guess maybe to get that World Series gear, I'll make a pass at that. But do you ever go to like the Spurs shops or go to the Cowboy game and go to the Cowboy gift shop? It's like 300% the normal cost for those clothes.
Absolutely it is.
So why go?
Because A, it's part of the experience. It is part of the experience. B, what if they have something you can't find online? What if it's always sold out every time you try and get it? What if one of the things that is harder for me to find, and I found it at a team store, so I bought it, is the Texans sleeveless hoodie that they wear out on the practice field. A lot of the players wear it. Can't find it online. It was extremely hard. And when I did, it was either extra large or out of stock. It was at the Texans team store. Got it.
We have some Braves fans on Facebook Live.
No.
Prince Obi-Wan, Braves in 4.
No. Let's qualify this.
Yeah.
We have some non-Astro fans. I don't know if they're technically Braves fans.
Jonathan C. with Let's Go Braves. Israel Rico coming in with don't buy at the stadium, buy it at the pro shop. It's cheaper. True.
If it's there. Like I said, I've tried, but there are certain items that are just hard to cop. And if you can find it at the team store, then add it at the team store.
Christopher Lewis reaches out to us saying the bloody sock ain't got nothing. All caps, nothing. Israel Rico reminds us that Bob Gibson pitched with a broken leg in the 1968 World Series.
Bob Gibson's one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
So who do you got in this series? Because beforehand, Vegas had this as the Astros winning pretty easily. It was a minus 150.
Yep. Astros in 6 would have been a decent prediction, but I feel less and less confident as this goes because I know the Astros bats can get going in a heartbeat.
Altuve is due.
Correa is also due. Those are guys that perform usually in the postseason.
Defensively, they're doing really well, but offensively, it's been a while.
I have an issue though, and my issue stems from the fact that what your supposed ace is in this series, Framber Valdez, just had a very rough outing. Jose Urquidy gets the start in game 2 tonight. Jose Urquidy did not pitch in the series against the Red Sox after the game was rained out one night. He was supposed to pitch one day, and then his start got bumped, and they ended up going another way. He hadn't pitched since he got tagged up in Chicago, early in that Chicago series, game 2 or 3, I think it was. Urquidy has to go tonight. Urquidy has to be nails, but he hadn't pitched in a while. And on top of that, last time we saw him, it wasn't great. After that, you got Luis Garcia, who's coming off a nails game to close out the Red Sox.
This a must win?
It's not a must win because the Astros have been horrible at home in the postseason. Or not in the postseason, but in the World Series. They haven't won, I believe, a postseason home game in the World Series since game 5 of the World Series in 2017. They lost all 4 at home against the Washington Nationals. They lost this one. They lost the one before that would have closed it out before it went.
Jonathan C. on Facebook Live saying, I'm not a Braves fan. I'm an Astro hater. H-Town down.
Exactly.
Again,
we
talked about this earlier this week. The Astros are the villains.
Yes.
Whether it's warranted or not, they are the villains. But man, speaking of villains, the LA Lakers were in town last night. When we come back, Jeff Garcia of Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs will join us to talk about that game. Do moral victories matter at this point? And why was no one defending Keldon Johnson last night when he got taken down? This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Friday nights mean one thing. San Antonio Sports Stars High School Football Game of the Week. Powered by Hill Electric. Jason Minix and Kevin Brock have the call each week beginning at 7 p.m. from the GPS of Texas broadcast booth. A Friday night Texas tradition.
Friday, a district showdown. The Johnson Jaguars, the Reagan Rattlers, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff.
High school football each week from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Your source to local news and sports in San Antonio begins with the San Antonio Express News. We've collected, written, and shown the stories that matter most to San Antonio. Look no further than the San Antonio Express News to continue to provide information and strength to the community. Whether it's on the field or on a court, we provide the ground local coverage. Go to expressnews.com for the most up-to-date high school and college sports coverage. Subscribe today at expressnews.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem in Texas like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's Rob with my good buddy Jack Overman from Service First AC Repair and Plumbing. Hey, Jack, when someone calls you for plumbing or an AC repair, can you fix it that day?
No sweat.
What if it's in the middle of the night?
No sweat.
Weekends?
No sweat.
Service First AC and Plumbing has put San Antonians first for over 14 years, with trustworthy and reliable technicians on hand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Service First is standing by to help you when you need them. Hey, Jack, what about free quotes?
No sweat.
And half-off service and free tune-ups?
No sweat. With Service First AC Repair and Plumbing, we don't sweat the small stuff or the big stuff.
Call Service First AC Repair and Plumbing. 210-NO-SWEAT. That's 210-NO-SWEAT. Anything else, Jack?
Thanks for having me, Rob. My team and I would be honored to assist you with all your AC and heating needs. Just give us a call and we'll head right over. 210-NO-SWEAT.
210-NO-SWEAT. That's 210-NO-SWEAT.
License number TACLA 27100C.
This flu season update is sponsored by Exergen. It's easy to put off a flu shot. The season is long, but CBS News' Dr. Tara Narula says you should get one as soon as you can.
We all think of the flu as, well, it's just the flu, but the reality is the flu can have serious consequences. It can evolve into other complications.
Fever is the #1 COVID symptom, so be safe with an accurate thermometer. Only Exergen is proven accurate in more than 100 studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're paying too much. Switching to Pure Talk saves the average family over $800 a year. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say half off, and you'll save 50% off your first month.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green. I'm Dr. Torres with the Institute for Functional Health, San Antonio's original holistic health clinic. Holistic does not mean complementary or alternative. It means we look at the whole picture. We've changed thousands of lives, and your overall health is our passion.
I no longer have to take sleeping pills, no blood pressure medication, or cholesterol pills. My insurance changed from high risk to standard.
I take 0 medications and said goodbye to sinus infections. I finally feel normal.
I no longer have anxiety attacks and have stopped taking pre-diabetic medication and sleeping pills.
I've lost 30 pounds, have more energy than ever before, have no pain, and my labs are perfect.
When things seem out of control, the one thing that we can control is your health. You will have a customized doctor-supervised wellness plan that gets to the root of the problem instead of masking symptoms. You get results, not refills. At the Institute for Functional Health, your overall health is our passion. Call 210-468-1891 for your free consultation. 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Sports, it's all about winning and losing. Mostly losing if you're talking about New York football. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back. Game 2 of the World Series is tonight. The Houston Astros take on the Atlanta Braves. Game 2 begins at 7:09 from Minute Maid Park. You can catch it here on the San Antonio Sports Star. 6 p.m. for pregame. We have Jose Urquidy on the mound for the Astros.
Here's the thing before we get to Jeff. You want to know how powerful the curse of the Mambo Kings is?
Tell me.
Jim McIlvaine, Mattress Mac to those who know, the owner of Gallery Furniture, who stands to win over $23 million if the Astros beat the Braves, brought 55 nuns to Game 1 of the World Series to bring out good vibes.
And it still didn't work.
Rob Thompson and the Curse of the Mambo Kings canceled out 55 nuns.
Brutal. You know those 55 nuns, if they have nothing to do, they should come to San Antonio because the Spurs needed them last night, losing to the LA Lakers, who didn't even have LeBron James, 125-121 in overtime. Oh, it was so brutal. The Spurs had it, and I hate the fact that I think the Spurs actually lost that game more than the Lakers actually beat that team. But joining us now from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs, Jeff Garcia. My man, who is to blame for last night's loss?
Oh, my good. Where do we begin? Whether it be the fans not showing up, maybe? I mean, did they play in L.A. or did they play in San Antonio? I didn't know which one it was.
That was disgusting.
That I did not appreciate that at all. But I mean, all kidding aside, yeah, I mean, free throws. It just, they could have won this in regulation, but they didn't. They clanked those throws at the end. You got a lot of just a lot of things that a young team is going to do, and more significant is would have been nice to have a DeMar DeRozan on the team, wouldn't it?
Oh no.
But they just didn't. What we've seen so far at the start of the season is they don't have that little bit extra to get over the hump, whether it be versus Denver or the other night versus the Lakers. You're probably going to see that tomorrow night against Dallas. Just that little something to push them over, whether it be just their inexperience, whether that just be the lack of a megastar, an all-star. I mean, ultimately, James, Michael, the opposition, they're talent heavy. That talent is going to overwhelm San Antonio.
Jeff, was the subtraction of LeBron James last night a good thing for the Lakers?
A good thing for the Lakers. I mean, sure, you get Westbrook going. He's kind of off to a rocky start in his LA career. Let this Laker team learn what it is like to play without LeBron, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of rest games as soon as the playoffs start rolling around. So yeah, I think it was good for them. Anthony Davis, just being Anthony Davis, and all in all, James, I think this is probably something they needed. Let them fend for themselves out. King James on that court. I mean, he could have played last night. I think he could have played. And if he played, there's no way the game was probably close as it was. There'll be no overtime, that's for sure. But, you saw that dust up that Davis and Howard had recently. So who knows? Winning cures all. We all know that. Winning cures all. And beating the San Antonio or whoever it was on their slate are going to help moving forward for their squad. But yeah, just a tough loss. And Michael, I know you brought this up right before the break about going in and getting your guys back. I got your back, Jimenez, and I got Pledger's back. Anyway.
Yes.
So if we're at Don Pedro's and somebody tries to talk some stuff, I'm getting in the mix with you guys. But yeah, Michael, you brought that up to me last night on Locked On Spurs, and I did not even notice that, Michael.
Yeah, so end of the third quarter, Keldon Johnson driving in. Jakob Poeltl got called for, I guess, a moving screen or something like that. And at the exact same time, Russell Westbrook hooked Keldon's arm and threw him to the ground. It was a violent play that had Jakob not been called for that foul, that would have gone down as a flagrant foul. And I thought for sure that people would run up and defend Keldon, but nothing happened. Not one player stood up. DeJounte Murray didn't go over there. Jakob didn't go over there. Nobody went to defend Keldon Johnson, and Keldon just jogged back down the court. And I was really upset about that because we've seen in years past LaMarcus Aldridge step up. We've even seen DeJounte Murray step up to people who are, to James Harden or to whomever is playing rough out there. Back in the day, we've had Mario Ellie, we've had Steven Jackson, we've had Malik Rose, we've had a lot of players who stood up. I thought yesterday that was the only thing that really disappointed me about that game. Yes, I'm disappointed the Spurs missed a lot of free throws down the stretch and blew a 12-point fourth quarter lead. Yes, I'm disappointed about that. But the one thing that sticks out in my mind that they need to address and fix is you do not let someone manhandle your star player.
Yeah, and again, I think everything just so happens so fast. I think a lot of the guys are just caught up in the foul that was not called. I mean, Pop got the technical. I think they gave the foul on Jakobs, you mentioned. So I think everybody was more caught up in that. But, look, we've seen DeJounte. I'm surprised DeJounte didn't do anything. He, in his history, you remember the James Harden, Murray face-off back in the day? I thought he, if anybody, should have said something to Russ. But, yeah, nothing happened. But, look, I mean, the last thing this team needs is start getting suspensions and fights and, it could have been great for camaraderie. But all in all, I think that's one of the last things this young team needs. But you look ahead and, murderer's row continues for San Antonio. You have Dallas up next. They still got Dallas again a few more days after that. They still got the champs. Maybe they get one against the Indiana. So I just feel this is going to be the theme of the entire season, Pledger. Well, they got better. Well, they're getting there. I think that's going to be the whole thing, the whole vibe. They'll pick up their wins, here and there. But all in all, you just want them to progressively get better. Hopefully they do tomorrow night in Dallas.
Jeff, through the first 4 games, with what we've seen, what are your thoughts on the Spurs to this point, and what kind of grade would you give them through the first 4 games of the season?
First of all, my first thought is it's still too early to tell. In 4 games, sample size. I think they're exceeding expectations right now. I thought they would just get trounced by the Lakers last night. They didn't. I thought Denver just destroyed them. Maybe going into the halftime. No, they didn't. They're exceeding my early expectations. They're competitive. They're not getting intimidated. They're not intimidated by the star power that's across the court on their end. I would give them a solid B+. B+. They're still making those mistakes. They're not making your free throws. Popovich said it best after the loss, saying this team is still not executing. I think he said they're not even a good executing team, but they're going to get there. They're trying to get familiarity. You're seeing a lot of positive signs individually from Jakob stepping up on the offensive end. The pick and roll between him and Murray is working great. I mean, they pick and roll the Lakers to death. You're seeing Lonnie Walker, playing the way many thought Lonnie Walker should have been playing as early as last year. And you're seeing Keldon being Keldon. Now, what's not working is, those mental mistakes, players that individually you think they help their game. Keldon's outside shot is still looking iffy. You're liking that DeJounte Murray is becoming more a facilitator. You're liking that this team defensively are one of the best. Speed-wise, pace-wise, they're one of the best in the league. And so there's a lot of good positives that you can carry on as a foundation moving forward. And I truly believe this murderer's road that they're going through right now is going to pay off for them, as the season continues.
We hope so, man. You mentioned some big games last night. DeJounte Murray with a triple-double, 21 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds. But, man, last night, that game was all about Jakob Poeltl. 27 points, 14 rebounds. As you mentioned, a lot of pick and roll. One of the great things about yesterday's game that I took out of it was that the Spurs were setting him up for success. Poeltl cannot handle passes that are at his knees. He cannot handle passes that are above his head. But, man, if you throw it to him in stride at his chest or at his waist, he will get it and he will do something with it. And every pass except for like 1 or 2 was put in a position that was going to help him succeed. Do you think that Poeltl, who is now averaging 16 points a game, is the second leading scorer on this team, 16 points, averaging 11 rebounds? We've been talking about leaps from various players. Can Keldon take the leap? Can DeJounte? Can Derek? Can Lonnie? The one person's leap we never discussed was Jakob Poeltl. Is it possible that he has some untapped potential there that we hadn't looked at?
Well, it was obvious why none of us really looked at Poeltl, because how many times over and over again the last 2 seasons he said, I'm going to get better offensively, and it just never happened. But now you're seeing it. Popovich again addressed that after the loss, saying, in Popovich fashion, well, we're just giving him the ball more. Okay, great, but you still got to put him in a position to get better. And you mentioned the pick and roll. He's very aggressive. And he had to face Anthony Davis and Joker recently. So, and he held his own on both ends of the court. So that's just great to see, So, you're talking about just collectively, the murderers row they're going through right now individually. I mean, their individual matchups from Jakob against Joker and tomorrow night against Doncic, and, thinking with how that's going to go for them. This team is rising to the occasion. Now, and I like about it is that they're punching back. They're not just taking the blows, they're punching back. And I like that about them. I mean, I can only imagine that locker room last night, how upset they may have been after losing that game. But they were very upbeat. Pop, Pledger, he's been very upbeat in these games. Remember back in the Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan days, they lost. I mean, how many of us were on media row saying, this is not going to be good, and I'm trying to Pop. They lose now, and he's happy. He's loving it. He's like, "Ooh, I love them. They're competitive." So it seems to me everybody right now is just on that Spurs roster that is, they're just enjoying the ride. And as long as they play like this, I mean, this could bear fruit. Maybe not in the long-term future, but in the short-term future for the Spurs.
I mean, let's face it. He's happy because he wants Paolo Banchero too.
I do too. I do too. And, but they need, again, I think the lack of that all-star power is going to catch up to them eventually, whether it be this season or the season after. So, there's just so many things that you can look at the squad and say, wow, the future forward looking is good, but in the immediate short term, it's still a work in progress. You heard things like the guy saying McMurray last night saying, oh, this is a grind. Many expect us to have instant success. Vassell comes out late at night, says, hey, this is not going to happen overnight. So they're aware of that, and I'm glad they're aware of that. They're trusting the process, they're enjoying the ride, but eventually, I don't know how much longer I can take moral victories. I don't know if I can.
Come on, all season, Jeff.
Start getting on my nerves eventually.
All season, baby.
Well, the victories from yesterday where Pirtle had a career day. DeJounte, triple-double, but he got so exhausted. He had nothing on those shots at the end of the game. I don't want DeJounte taking shots at the end of any quarter. I want that to be given to Lonnie or Devin Vassell. And speaking of those two, both of them had big games yesterday. Keita Bates-Diop, lots of minutes. 29 minutes. But guess who did not see the court in overtime? The Spurs leading scorer, Keldon Johnson, was not on the court for any part of the overtime. Is this an issue, Jeff?
No, I don't think so. I think he was just having a bad night, and he just came down to it. They needed guys that, were putting the basket in the hoop, and Keldon wasn't it. No, I don't know if there was an injury to McDermott. Pop addressed it, said he didn't know, but it didn't sound too serious. He wasn't even in money time when they could have used a veteran like McDermott out on the court. So, you got Bates-Diop was a surprise last night over Drew Eubanks. I thought that was interesting. I think it's nothing to really be concerned about. I mean, he's been playing at a high level. I hope it's not because he got tired, because what is he, like 20-something? So don't do the excuse if you got tired. If it's just a bad shooting night, then hey, it happens. Sit him out. But Westbrook had some glowing things to say about the Spurs after the win for the Lakers side, saying that this team is tough and that there's a guy named Popovich still on that sideline, that he's going to get them ready. And he says that this team is going to be tough for years down the road. So, but the question is going to be like, will they be the same team down the road? Do they still try to flip some of these guys? So the whole Spurs Ben Simmons rumor has cooled down quite a bit since the offseason. Is that off the shelf now? Do they make an aggressive move in the offseason or right before the trade deadline to bring in some star power? I mean, that's basically what happened to the Spurs against the Lakers. It was Westbrook and Davis that just took over the game. Spurs don't have those type of players that can just take over the game the way Davis did. I mean, I thought his season was over the way he was acting on the sideline, crumpling down, grabbing his knee, but he came back and just willed this team to the win over San Antonio. Do the Spurs have that type of player? As of right now, the jury's still out.
Last thing for me, Jeff. How do you feel about the shocking surprise and revelation today that Josh Primo is now headed to Austin along with Joe Wieskamp to be a part of the Austin Spurs?
Pledger.
I mean,
you don't say.
The breaking news to where they caught all of us off guard.
He's shooting 100%.
Yeah, he's shooting 100%, and I am not shocked whatsoever. I don't know why some of the Spurs fan base is acting like this is such a big deal. This is just part of the process in San Antonio. DeJounte, Derek, Boban, who they're going to see tomorrow night. Everybody's gone through this process, and it's Primo's time. It's not just him. It's Wieskamp. He's going to do it too. But the open question is, for how long? Is it simply just a training camp and then recall him? Is it simply, the first month and then recall him? I want the Keldon Johnson treatment, Pledger. I want that treatment.
We talked about that.
I'm going to go find a bridge and like Bob from La Bamba, instead of screaming Richie, I'm going to scream, Primo! Primo!
I hope you're kidding, Jimenez, because you should not be shocked. Nobody should be shocked.
Here's the thing. When you go do that, there's going to be a bunch of people run up. You need help finding your Primo?
Hey, one last question. We're up against a break,
Yes,
Jeff.
Sir.
We're debating
what does he look like?
The movie Varsity Blues. Is it a top 10 sports movie of all time in 15 seconds? Yes or no?
Oh,
There's only one correct answer.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, that's the wrong answer.
That is Jeff
No, not a
Garcia.
top 10.
That is Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs. Thank you for being on halftime with us. We love you, brother. We can't wait for you to be in town.
Yep.
Very cool. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking Rock the Mic. And how about them Cowboys and their cupcake schedule? What? Someone on Twitter mentioned that. They're a Cowboy fan, mentioning that the Cowboys are playing the best quarterback that they faced in over a month. That quarterback being Kirk Cousins? What? This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Score $1,000 now. Enter the winning keyword, UTSA. UTSA at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The World Series kicked off last night in Houston with the Astros falling to the Braves 6-2. The starting pitcher for Atlanta, Charlie Morton, left the game with a broken fibula and will be out the remainder of the season. Game 2 is tonight with the first pitch at 7:09. The Los Angeles Lakers came into San Antonio last night and defeated the Spurs in overtime 125-121. LeBron James didn't play due to injury, but Anthony Davis scored 35 and Russell Westbrook dropped 33 to propel the Lakers past the Spurs, who received a triple-double from DeJounte Murray and a career-high 27 points from Jakob Poeltl. And in Dallas last night, the Mavericks knocked off the Rockets 116-106. Luka Doncic led the way with 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain, whether you're vaccinated or not, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
Hey, sports bettors, I'm talking to you. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about my favorite sports book. That's BetUS. Football's here. You need to be playing it. It's been a great couple of weeks. Why not start now? Well, BetUS is the best place to start because they've been around for 25 years. That's the integrity I'm looking for with the longevity. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, you name it. They've got it. To join, it's so easy. Call today, 1-800-79-BET-US. Again, 1-800-79-BET-US. And when you dial it, remember this, KZDC. If you tell them KZDC, that's us, you're going to get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody does that. I bet at BetUS, so should you. I want you to join BetUS.com today. Call them right now. Start betting with America's favorite sportsbook. And remember to use KZDC for up to 200% in bonuses. BetUS.com. It's where the game begins.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
The best arms in the game battling the best bats. Get the latest series news, updates, analysis, and more. Astros, Braves, the 2021 World Series. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
San Antonio's home for sports talk is right here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Want a chance to win tickets to every Dallas Cowboys home game this season? It's simple. Go to sasportstar.com to register and win. You can win tickets to every home game this year. It's a reason to follow our station here at ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Do you see an issue with this?
Pledge, over the commercial break, was freaking out. He's bleeding.
It's like, that hurt. It is a clear piece of tape, and inside the tape that is crumbled up, because I see something and I just kind of squash and crumble it, there is one of those clear thumbtacks hidden within this piece of tape over here on Rob's side of the desk for whatever reason, and I am now bleeding out of my finger.
Workman's comp, baby. Let's go see Human Resources after this.
Who does that?
Welcome back to halftime. We are going till 2 o'clock. Hey, guess what? It's the time of the year where we do Rock the Mic. Go to sasportstar.com and upload a video of yourself giving a take. Has to be less than a minute long. But Pledge, you've been around now for this is the 6th Rock the Mic. What have you, give us some advice to someone who is going to be doing these takes, whether they're in person or being uploaded onto the website.
Well, obviously you want to befriend me. No, but seriously, Rock the Mic is just being yourself. So when you step in front of the mic or the camera, be yourself. Talk about things that you would talk about a buddy with at the bar. I don't need to be over and just hammered with stats about something trivial for 60 seconds. It's not going to win me over. Be personable.
Be personable. Have a good take. Do something outside the box sometimes. Just something that's a little bit unusual might actually help. But if you are fortunate enough to be part of the Dirty Dozen, the top 12, and it goes into the voting time, go and get votes because they matter. Man, I was going from restaurant to restaurant, bar to bar, badgering people from high school on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I went out there and got votes when I won 2 years ago. So it's very important. You can't just have a good take, make the top 12, and then think, well, I'm just going to cruise to the top 4 because you need to be voted into the top 4 or 5.
And I will tell you this. If you've tried out once, uploaded a sports take already once, upload another. If you feel passionate about something, if something grabs you that you feel you need to voice your opinion on it, do that. Because multiple chances just means we find the best of whatever that is that you've uploaded. That's it.
And you can also go live. You could do the upload and go in person. So we're looking forward to it. I'll be at some of these Rock the Mic events along with Pledgers. Come say hi. Have a beer with us. We have one more hour of halftime here on the San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, we're talking Cowboys. And did you hear what Sean Elliott said about Dennis Rodman? The beef lives. This is halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you have what it takes to rock the mic?
Hey, this is RJ Ochoa.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague.
Hey, San Antonio, it's Thomas Mott.
Slacker Sports Bar presents Rock the Mic. Now is the time to submit your 1 minute or less sports take video clip at sasportstar.com. From there, we narrow down to the top 12 finalists with 4 rounds of live in-person auditions. Who will be the 2021 Rock the Mic champ? It could be you. Rock the Mic, presented by Slacker Sports Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Halloween parties at the Rue Pub have become legendary. Plan now. The biggest Halloween party in San Antonio will be Saturday, October 30th. Get your costume ready. The Rue Pub closes off part of the parking lot and will have DJs outside and inside the Rue and Angry Elephant and a $1,000 costume contest. The Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. Plan now for the 8th annual Rue Pub Halloween block party on Saturday, October 30th. We'll see you at the Rue and wear a costume. Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. Whether your home is a new build or an older home, Alamo Water Softeners has a water treatment bundle with special pricing to give your home the highest quality water treatment available. Choose from several bundles, including the Premier Whole Home Bundle. Get a free standard gas or electric water heater when you purchase a select top-of-the-line water softener, plus 1 filter and reverse osmosis system. Go to AlamoWaterSofteners.com. That's AlamoWaterSofteners.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Life is already full of surprises, but your tuition shouldn't be one of them. While education costs rise in the U.S. every year, University of Phoenix is committed to protecting you from rising tuition costs with our tuition guarantee. We lock in your tuition so you can count on fixed, affordable tuition from the moment you enroll to the day you graduate from your program. Learn more at phoenix.edu.
Sip and save at Circle K with our great new drink subscription. Join Sip and Save today and enjoy 1 drink a day every day for just $5.99 a month. Enjoy your favorite Circle K ice-cold fountain drink, Froster, or freshly ground coffee every day. That's 30 drinks a month for only $5.99. So sip and save at Circle K. Sign up in-store or at CircleK.com. Circle K. Take it easy.
Your safety and full satisfaction is My Collision Center's top priority. Free estimates and no appointment necessary. We work for you. If you've been in an accident, visit My Collision Center for a free estimate today. With 5 area locations, visit mycollisioncenter.com.
If you love football, come to the San Antonio Quarterback Club every Tuesday from 11 to 1 at the Shira Hills Baptist Church. Join UTSA coaches for Roadrunner game highlights, plus feature guest speakers for great food and football talk. The San Antonio Quarterback Club is a proud supporter of Gridiron Heroes Spinal Cord Injury Foundation. Tuesday's guest speaker is Louis Stroud, a man that spent over 40 years officiating NFL football. Join us Tuesday 11 to 1 at Shira Hills Baptist Church for food and football talk at the San Antonio Quarterback Club.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
From the Mother's Window Tent Studio, one team, one mission, KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Halftime.
Yes, sir. It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportsstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, Rock the Mic champ number 4, joined by James Pledger, who is sporting a Lance Harbor Varsity Blues jersey. Cannot wait. 1:30, I believe we're talking about.
Keep that blasphemy in your mouth.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Varsity Blues. Is it a top 10 sports movie of all time? I didn't realize it'd be so controversial. I didn't realize that more than 100 people would vote on this on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, my handle's at 210FantasyGod. Pledges at I am Pledger. And I saw a tweet last night that made me chuckle. It made me giggle a little bit because the Cowboys are back in action this week. They had the bye week last weekend. They're playing Halloween night against the Minnesota Vikings. So for those of you who are dads and moms or uncles or aunts and normally take your kids out to trick or treat, FYI, you're going to be missing the first quarter.
Start at 5, be done by 7.
They're playing Halloween night, baby. Halloween night. But I saw a tweet from someone named Star Gang Beauty, apparently a big Cowboy fan because she also goes by Dak for President 2024. And it said, quote, "The Vikings have the best QB the Cowboys have played since week 2, the best wide receivers they've played since week 2, the best running back they've played since week 2. Some people don't like Kirk Cousins, but he's no slouch and he can throw the ball on us. Let's get this W, Dallas Cowboys." And I laughed a little bit. I was like, there's no way in the world that that's true. There's no way in the world that the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm sorry, Brandon, Big Papi Medina, I know that's your team, but there's no way in the world that that is the best lineup that the Cowboys have played. So I went back in time and I looked at it and I said, okay, well, they started the season with Tom Brady going up against Brady, then Justin Herbert. But the last 4 quarterbacks that the Cowboys have seen in the last 5 weeks, Justin Hurts, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Mike Glennon, who came in during the injury, and Mac Jones. She might be onto something here. The Cowboys have been playing a cupcake schedule all year long since week 2. Am I wrong?
Don't make me be that guy. Don't make me be that guy, Michael. Don't make me be the one that has to defend the honor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, who was the best quarterback of the 4 there? Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. Who is the best quarterback of those 4?
Mac Jones was playing the best when they played them. Sam Darnold going into that game, people were talking about him as comeback player of the year and a revolution at the quarterback position and the magic that Joe Brady was working. So come on, each one of them has their merits. And you as a fantasy guy know Jalen Hurts puts numbers up.
Yes, he does. And I'm not saying that to be kind of an anti-Cowboy guy. Okay, I'm not. I just thought it was funny because I think the Cowboys are one of the 7 or 8 teams in the NFL who conceivably could win the Super Bowl this year. Okay, I think 3/4 of the league ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Right? So let's put that out there.
Good.
I was intrigued yesterday, though, when ESPN released its power rankings. They listed the Cowboys as 6th. Because in my eyes, I see the Cowboys somewhere around 3 or 4.
Okay.
On that list. Okay. So I'm not the Cowboy hater who's going to be saying that the Cowboys suck and there's no way they're going to win. They have no chance to win the Super Bowl. It's been 20 some odd years. I'm not that guy. Okay. I want to be more analytical about it. The Cowboys are a good team. But I kept looking at it and I was thinking to myself, you know, they're not the ones who make their schedule. Okay.
I mean, they are by finishing 3rd in the division last year. That kind of sets you up for an easy path.
Yes. Well, it very much is an easy path because the NFC East is awful.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles, Washington football team, Giants, all 3 of them 2-5. That should be 6 wins right there for the Cowboys. And if they're playing against Carolina and, a young quarterback in New England, they're going to be racking up a lot of wins. And I wonder if that's going to hurt them when it comes playoff time because they're not playing good competition.
I mean, they're about to, though. It's not like they're scared. Minnesota is a good team. Not a great team.
They're okay.
They're a good team.
They're okay.
You look down the line, the Chiefs. I know that you're writing them off. At some point, that offense is going to figure things out.
Yeah, it'll be next year. It'll be next year.
They both do. And at some point this season, I think.
How the mighty have fallen. That is not a good team anymore.
You can write them off all you want. The Raiders are a really good team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot write off what the Raiders have been doing so far to this point. And then you get the Cardinals 2 weeks before the end of the season. A possible team that you're going to have to face to get to the Super Bowl.
There are going to be tough teams along the way. All teams play a tough team here and there. But what I am saying is that I think that this Cowboys schedule might be a little bit too easy, and it'll get them home field advantage for 1 or 2 games. But man, I'm taking a look at these other teams in the NFC. I think the 5 best teams in the NFC are the 5 best teams in the entire NFL.
Yes.
It's just going to be weird, man, because if they're playing these teams that aren't doing well, when they finally get a real legitimate quarterback that's on the other side of the field, it might be it might startle some fans that defense might not be as good as we think it is.
NFL trade deadline's November the 2nd. Michael Gallup's coming back from injury. Neville Gallimore at some point. DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Lyle Collins coming off the suspension.
I forgot Gallup was on the team.
There are so many great pieces on that team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Rush is your backup quarterback. Now, I made the offhanded joke on Monday the Cowboys should try and trade for Deshaun Watson. But if the Texans are going full tank rebuild and try and get as much equity for the draft to rebuild, why not look at a quarterback with a similar skill set to Dak Prescott? Tyrod Taylor's coming off the injured reserve. He's a very poised veteran quarterback that if that calf injury lingers and turns into a 3-4 week injury like Gallup's did, or if he re-aggravates it trying to play against Minnesota, a quarterback like a Tyrod Taylor, or if he gets concussed at any point during this game or in the playoffs, you've got a viable quarterback that can lead you to a victory with the weapons given around him.
I'm glad you said that because that is the Achilles heel of the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have an excellent quarterback in Dak Prescott. They have an excellent 1-2 punch in the running game with Zeke Elliott and Pollard. They have 2 very good tight ends. They have a decent offensive line. CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Amari Cooper. On the defensive
side,
Cedric Wilson, that amazing catch he had on 4th down saved that win against the Patriots. On the defense side of the ball, Micah Parsons playing amazing. He's going to be rookie of the year probably on the defensive end. Diggs is amazing.
He'll be the defensive player of the year.
Very, very,
also,
very possible.
Diggy Zua's been playing great on that defensive line along with Randy Gregory.
The Cowboys are playing fantastic. And right now on Facebook Live, people are just all over me right now thinking that I'm, just ragging on their team. I'm not.
It's a really good team.
It's a really good team. I think they're the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFL. Right? So where am I the hater? I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. They haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody in a while.
Go back to that previous comment for me real quick, Edwin. Christian Rivera on our YouTube Live says, instead of wasting a draft pick, why wouldn't they get a Cam Newton? I don't know how Cam Newton would fit into playing the role of backup.
Yeah.
How locked in he would be to being ready to come off the bench at a moment's notice. B, I think Tyrod Taylor more emulates the skill set that of Dak Prescott does, to where you don't have to change your offense that much. He likes to boot out. He likes to throw on the one. He's not looking to run to absorb contact. He's looking to run to extend the play, to continue to try and make a play downfield, and at the last second, if he has to, turn it upfield and get as much yardage as he can before sliding down.
There are some good quarterbacks out there that are good game managers. Tyrod Taylor being one of them, Teddy Bridgewater being another one, Kirk Cousins in many ways being one. The Cowboys are not going to win the Super Bowl without Dak Prescott, but they can win playoff games with a Tyrod Taylor. And there's a drop-off, but not as drastic of a drop-off, because we saw that with Andy Dalton last year, where it was a huge drop-off.
And here's the other thing on the other side of that coin is I look at it from not so much like an injury that's going to take you out of Super Bowl contention, but just some one-off injury that could really hurt you. Like, let's say in a playoff game, Dak has a Danny Dimes moment where he'll be back next week.
Yes.
But he can't finish the game because he's in concussion protocol. You need a guy that can get you through that type of rough spot. I'm not sure Cooper Rush is that guy.
I agree. 100% agree. Man, Halloween night. You're excited about the Roo?
So excited about the Roo.
I have no idea. You know what? I know what I'm going to be for Halloween. I'm going to be a boombox.
Oh, yeah?
My son, I have a special needs son. He saw it. It was colorful. It lights up. It plays music. And it's just, I'm going to be a boombox.
That's cool.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Hey, Pledge, let's do some sports headlines, baby. The 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210.
Headline 2.
Headline 2.
Deshaun Watson deal still unlikely despite compensation agreement between the Texans and Dolphins. The Houston Texans and Miami Dolphins have reportedly agreed on compensation that would send the embattled Texans quarterback to the Miami Dolphins. This according to the Houston Chronicle's John McClain, but the Dolphins want his legal issues resolved prior to the November 2nd trade deadline before they will pull the trigger, as Deshaun Watson is facing 22 civil suits of sexual misconduct. Watson does not want to settle because he believes that would be an admission of guilt. Before the deal was made official, Ross also wants to find out from Commissioner Roger Goodell if Watson would be suspended under the personal conduct policy, and if so, for how long, to which the commissioner himself shed some light on yesterday.
Obviously, are other, I'll call it legal approaches that are being made either through civil cases. Obviously, the police have been investigating also. We don't have all the access to that information at this point in time, and we pride ourselves on not interfering in that, being cooperative as we can to make sure we get all the facts. But I think that process is still ongoing. And until that process is ongoing and we have enough data and enough information to be able to make a determination of whether he should go on commissioner exempt, we don't feel that we have that necessary information.
Translation, they're not doing anything this year. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported this morning that Panthers owner David Tepper is not expected to pursue Watson anymore at this time, per sources informed of the situation. Does this happen, Michael?
Like sand through the hourglass, and so are the days of our sports lives. It's not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen. It's too toxic. There's so many unknowns. Is he going to be criminally charged? Is he going to serve time? Is he going to be suspended? Why would anybody trade draft capital and players for an unknown? It's not going to happen. It never should have even been discussed. But now I am certain that it's not going to happen.
But the compensation's been agreed to. That's the weird part of it.
Yeah.
And Roger Goodell has now said, we're not doing anything until we get final say from the HPD or the FBI.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Moving along.
Headline 1.
The Cleveland Indians are being sued. The Cleveland Indians, which will be going by the Guardians as of next season. Well, there's a Guardians roller derby team that has filed a lawsuit against the club to block it from using their nickname. So what are they going to do? Do they go back to Indians? Are they going to be the Cleveland baseball team? What's going on, Michael?
Man, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're getting away from the Indians name. It was the logo that was the problem for me.
Chief Wahoo.
Yes, the Chief Wahoo, not necessarily the name. But I do like the name Guardians, man, because it has a tie to Cleveland, because there's these Guardian statues, if you will, that are on their highway system over there. So it makes sense. We don't get it because we don't drive by there. But I'm going to miss that name. Should they be sued? I think it's funny. We all sue for lots of reasons. We all sue for trademarks. Speaking of trademarks, Pledge, last night I was driving around. I was thinking to myself, who's going to trademark UTSA national champions?
You mean the UCF route?
Yes. Someone trademark that. Make some money, baby.
Here's the thing.
Give me 20%.
I didn't know there was a Cleveland Guardians roller derby team. Mm-hmm. And B, this has to fall on whoever did the research on this to not know that there was a Guardians roller derby team that they could not use.
Dude, every mascot's taken, man. There's a mascot for everything.
But when going through this, which is part of what the Washington football team is dealing with.
Yes.
There are potential roadblocks into finding a new team nickname. You have to have vetted that better, right, Cleveland?
Well, they have enough money to buy it out if need be. I mean, it's going to work out in their favor, ultimately. So waiting for Washington football team to come up with a name. And by the way, on Facebook Live, Jonathan C. says Jeff Traylor needs to trademark, quote, God bless and birds up.
I do like that one.
Headline 0.
Headline 0. The San Antonio Spurs announced today that they have assigned this year's first-round pick, Josh Primo, who was selected 12th overall, to the Austin Spurs. Primo appeared in 2 of the team's 4 games so far this season, averaging 2.5 points in 3 minutes per game. The Spurs' two-way guard, Joey Wieskamp, will also be joining Austin for the 2021 training camp, which starts today in San Antonio. This an official release from the San Antonio Spurs.
In my La Bamba Bob voice, Primo! Primo!
You didn't see this coming?
Of course we saw it coming. And
in
it's
my Pietro Maximoff voice from Age of Ultron. What, you didn't see that coming?
It's so disappointing. I mean, look at the Lakers last night. The Lakers last night played a nobody alongside with players like Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook.
Are you talking about Reeves?
Yes. Like, who was that guy? It's like they picked him up out of the YMCA, trotted him out there, played him 30 minutes for crying out loud. I'm sorry.
You know college basketball in the draft
do.
Every bit as much as
I
don't
do.
act like you don't know who he is.
The problem is, I'm trying to make a point here.
The Oklahoma product is a baller and a shooter, and he actually provides them with something that they lack sorely, which is floor spacing.
It's called hyperbole. It's called just being funny about it. But the fact of the matter is they trot out a young guy out there with superstars, and you're telling me that the Spurs can't trot out Primo to play 10 to 12 minutes alongside Derek White and Keldon Johnson and Lonnie Walker? Come on, man.
You know that's not part of the process, Michael.
Oh my God. If you want me to trust the process, show me the process. Not having him play in some gym in Austin against some scrubs who'll never sniff the NBA. Man. I'm done with it right now. Moral victories. Gotta accept them.
That's the 411 and a 210.
So last night, yes, it was an exciting game. Overtime. It was exciting. Spurs lost to the LA Lakers, but probably the most fun part of it all for me was in the third quarter. The Spurs had Michelle Beadle out there with Sean Elliott, and man, she opened him up.
Yeah?
Yeah, so brought up the fact that Sean Elliott does not like the fact that Dennis Rodman, former Pistons and Bulls great, was named to the NBA's top 75 players of all time list. I mean, this is the list that doesn't have Tony Parker, doesn't have Manu Ginobili, doesn't have Dwight Howard, doesn't have a lot of players, but somehow the worm got in, and basically Elliott said he did not deserve to be there. He says that Dennis Rodman needed to do more than just rebound to be on that list. What are your thoughts on that?
Do you disagree with it?
I don't, man. Robin doesn't agree.
I was about to say, because here was my first thought was, does he not know that everybody that made the top 50 got in?
Yeah.
Rodman wasn't initially part of the top 50, was he?
He wasn't.
So that negates any argument to me. And at that point, yeah, you got to do more in rebound, because while you mentioned Dwight Howard and Parker and Ginobili. You also got Vince Carter, Dikembe Mutombo, Tracy McGrady. Like
one-dimensional player.
I can find a whole bunch of guys that deserve to be in the top 75 more so than does Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, obviously one of the greatest rebounders of all time.
All time.
Complete stat hog, though, man. He would chase down rebounds to shots at the end of a quarter for no apparent reason other than just to get one more rebound. He was an excellent defender. I believe he was a multi-defensive player of the year award winner. He made a couple of all-star games, right? But in those games, in those teams, the bad boy Pistons, in those Jordan Bulls, he wasn't even their third best player on either of those teams.
The Drew Show says on our YouTube live feed that Sean's just still salty about what he did in games, taking his shoes off, etc. Needs to get over it. Look, I agree with Sean. I love Dennis Rodman. He's one of my favorite players. Him as part of those 90s Bulls teams, even with the Spurs or the Pistons, like he was integral to all of those teams' success, right? Doesn't make him a top 75 player of all time, though.
No.
He was an incredible defender. He was an incredible rebounder. He served his purpose. But much like Ben Wallace, a little bit of a one-trick pony.
Ben Wallace made the Hall of Fame. I question that.
I do too.
Man, but it's fun to see because I was watching the game last night and just seeing Beadle out there and Michelle Beadle. I love Michelle Beadle from her days with Colin Cowherd and all of that stuff that she did. I'm a big fan. And when she was out there, I was a little bit kind of, going to be honest with you, bored the first couple of minutes when she was out there. But then when she started kind of doing journalistic things to Elliot, I was like, I cannot believe he went down that rabbit hole. I cannot believe that he went there. And of course, the first thing I do is search it on Twitter to see, like, what does everyone else think? And man, Bulls fans were coming out in defense of Rodman. Rodman, again, a great player. Nowhere near the top 75 players of all time. He wasn't even one of the three best players of any of the championship teams that he was in. He wasn't.
Who would you put ahead of him third?
Okay, so bad boys, we'd have Isaiah Thomas. We'd have Joe Dumars. I would say Bill Laimbeer, Vinnie Johnson.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the microwave was legit, man. He was their sixth man. He was their Manu, right? And then you take a look at the Bulls when you had obviously Jordan and Pippen. Those are two players, but they count as four. They were that great. But you take a look, Kukoc was integral to all that. Cartwright and all of these different players. It's just, and even if he was the third best player on these teams,
he was.
I'm just okay. BJ Armstrong. I mean, Steve Kerr.
Don't give me Will Purdue. Don't give me the
Luke Longley. Come on.
Don't give me any of the white centers that they trotted out there.
The fact of the matter is that even if he was the third best Bull,
he was
the third best Piston. Even if he was, it was far below the top two.
Is an argument, but let's face it, the Worm was the third best part of those Bulls teams.
All right.
You got to at least give me that.
Horace Grant.
He wasn't on those teams.
All right. I stand corrected by one Lance Harbor. Because when we come back, for those of you watching on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live on San Antonio Sports Stars page, James Pledger is sporting the number 7 Lance Harbor jersey from Varsity Blues. We're going to talk Varsity Blues when we come back. Is it a top 10 sports movie of all time? This is the San Antonio Sports Star halftime on ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com.
Happy Christmas! Rapper with Jack, benefiting Family Service Association, is happening now through December 4th, benefiting the most needy families this holiday season. There are 3 ways to help. Give cash now, shop the Amazon wish list, or drop off donations at our designated locations. Complete details now at sasportstar.com. Presented by Quarter Moon, Plumbing, Heat, and AC, and in part by River City Oral Surgery, Institute for Functional Health, and Copenhagen Contemporary Furniture.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people will remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game and a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4 TP to 85000 to apply.
Like a lot of women these days, Mackenzie Tudor knew exactly what she wanted in an engagement ring.
I'm a big fan of Pinterest. I've been studying this for years.
She wanted a pear-shaped diamond in a certain designer setting, but became frustrated quickly when most jewelers just didn't have it.
You can go in a lot of diamond stores and they don't have the pear shape. They may have one option. They may have 2 if you're lucky.
Then she and her boyfriend Tim found Diamonds Direct, with one of the largest selections of loose diamonds in America in stock every day.
Diamonds Direct had more than dozens of the exact size and shape of diamond that I was looking for.
And because Diamonds Direct carries all the top bridal designer lines, names like Verragio and Simon G, finding the ideal setting was just as easy.
The styles at Diamonds Direct, they go right along with Pinterest. They are exactly what every girl's looking for.
Diamonds Direct, the exact diamond you want, the designer ring you've been dreaming of. No compromise necessary.
I can't say enough about how many compliments I get on my ring from Diamonds Direct every day.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock Ontario.
Your exclusive home for the 2021 World Series. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's fall family fun at the 4th annual Corny Maze at Traders Village, San Antonio's only Corny Maze with 10 acres of mazes. Corny Maze tickets are $9.99 per person. Kids under 2 get in for free for $5 more. You can ride all the rides all day long. And we're giving away a family 4-pack today on the Blitz, which starts at 4 p.m. Welcome back to halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. On the go at sasportstar.com. The time is now. I've been so excited about this topic because I go fishing for topics on Twitter. I start throwing out polls and things like that to see if anything sticks, and pleasure got reeled in real fast on this one. My question was, is Varsity Blues a top 10 sports movie of all time? What say you, Lance Harbor?
You keep that blasphemy out of your mouth. It is absolutely a top 10 sports movie of all time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's not even a question in my mind.
Okay, first of all, I'm not going to play devil's advocate. I agree with you. I love me some Varsity Blues. There's no blasphemy coming from my mouth, just a bunch of praise and a bunch of jealousy, because I'm taking a look at your jersey. You're wearing the blue Lance Harbor jersey, and you sent me a text message about half an hour ago during the show, because we were multitasking. Now that we're talking to each other, we text each other while we're talking to each other. And you sent me one that I could get a Jonathan Moxon men's jersey.
Or a Billy Bob, but you're losing your Billy Bob.
Yeah, I was Billy Bob in March, man. But 30 pounds later, I'm more of the guy named Wendell, who's the running back. I'm more of him right now.
Wendell Card.
Yeah. So, man, that Moxon jersey, $29.99. Man.
Yeah.
They probably sold this at Blockbuster back in the day. This is amazing. Okay, so explain to me why you like Varsity Blues so much.
Varsity Blues is an amazing movie. It is actually done by MTV Films, of all people, but it perfectly encaptured at a time what it was to be in small town kind of high school football area. Like, I grew up in Smiths Valley, Canyon Lake, Spring Branch, out in the country. Closest populous town to us was New Braunfels, and if we wanted to have real fun, we had to drive 45-50 minutes to San Antonio. And at that time, you didn't see San Antonio until you basically got to 1604. Like, it was just a bunch of nothingness out there. It's not what it is out past 1604 right now. So it was a thing. Like, we were in a small, isolated town. And I'll tell you, the only thing that feels overtly overdone in that movie is the fact that that small town had a strip club.
No, it was outside of town. That's why that teacher was able to go do it. Which, by the way...
But it was in another very small town.
Right. and it was foreshadowed earlier in the movie when Mox says, or Billy Bob says, man, how does she drive such a nice car? And that teacher, by the way, the one who played the teacher / stripper, like, whatever happened to her? Like, I don't remember her in any other movie, but it wasn't her that I fell in love with. It was the beginning of my love affair with Allie Larder and Amy Smart. Because Amy Smart later on, back in the day, Allie Larder won the battle in this movie, but I think Amy Smart won the war.
Probably. I love Amy Smart. I've always loved Amy Smart. I loved her in that. I loved her in Butterfly Effect. Like,
Just Friends.
Like, I think Amy Smart is fantastic. Allie Larder's great too. The Resident Evil movies, the whipped cream bikini is iconic. And the fact that I saw this poll made me stop on the way home, buy groceries, and my main reason for buying $100 worth of groceries is I wanted to stop and pick up some whipped cream.
Adriana, San Antonio Mama, on Twitter says that she loved the whipped cream scene. We all did.
Nobody didn't love the whipped cream scene.
We all did. There's so much greatness in that movie. John Voight as the coach. What I never understood is when they refused to go back onto the field, why didn't the assistant coaches stay on the field? Maybe those are questions that don't need to be answered. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. The fact that they couldn't remove the statue because it was just too heavy after he left. Did they play in the playoffs? And why didn't they play again? Like, they won that game at the end. Spoiler alert, it's been 20 some odd years. I was on the set of Varsity Blues back in the day. I was actually an intern at KSAT, and they sent us out there to go check that out. But there's a lot of great characters on there. Jonathan Moxon, James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek. I saw him in an HEB commercial the other day. Apparently he moved to Austin, and now he stars in HEB commercials.
Yeah.
So that is what life imitating art right there, in the sense that he is now a Texan. He moved from California.
And here's the other thing too. What's one of your favorite James Vanderbeek roles outside of Varsity Blues?
Well, obviously Dawson's Creek.
Is it?
Yeah.
James Vanderbeek playing himself and Don't Trust the Bee from Apartment 23 is absolute comedic gold.
I think James Vanderbeek was also in a Pink video back in the day.
He was.
That was pretty interesting as well. I'm a big fan of this movie, but man, so many iconic scenes in there. And I think it's because of our age, because when this movie came out, I was 22, you were probably 18 or 19 at the time. It goes with who we are right now. Some people are responding to us saying that Shane Falco's the GOAT. Okay. Replacements was good.
Yeah. I love The Replacements. I think it's a great football movie.
Is Point Break a football movie?
No,
because it has Utah, but he was a former.
Utah was a former quarterback. They played a scene of football on the beach, but if anything, it's a surfing movie.
And lots of people responding with, "I don't want your life."
Well, yeah, that's not even my favorite line out of the whole movie. Like, that movie's got so many great one-liners within it, by the way.
Yeah. It's a 10.
It's a 10.
10. I also like the, will you go to prom with me?
Ms. Davis, you go prom with me?
I mean, he had a pig named Bacon.
That was fantastic.
He drank whiskey at the 50-yard line and with a shotgun shot his old trophies. There's just so much going on in that movie. I liked the arc of of Moxon's character where, he just went from a nobody to, you can see the talent when he's sitting on the bench and he throws the ball back to the official, but instead of the sideline official, he throws it to the one in the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I know where this is going. He's going to end up being the star.
Oh, you didn't see that coming?
I don't know, man. I was 22 years old, but Paul Walker was great in this movie too.
Kind of launched his career, actually.
R.I.P.
And man, there are just so many great. John Voight as the coach, the legendary speech about "Let's Be Heroes," from Jonathan Moxon is
with the Foo Fighters hero coming out in the background.
It is right up there, that speech, in terms of like goosebump speeches, with Al Pacino's speech from Any Given Sunday.
Christopher Lewis on Facebook Live. I'm back. Puke and rally.
Here's my thing too. One of my favorite, like, jump in the car, time to go to jail. When he steals the cop car. But there were also other things that if you grew up in small town Texas, you identified with. The older guy that had graduated high school that was still at the high school parties for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, that was a thing. You saw that out. So there was a lot that felt real and hit home more so than, and here's one of the low-key things that people may or may not know about me. I absolutely despise the movie Friday Night Lights.
Really?
Despise it.
I've never seen that movie.
Stand it.
I've never seen that movie. By the way, I'm really into the show All American on CW, which is great. My wife and I are really into that. But what we need to do, we need to like ask the powers that be over here if we can just like go on to 2:30, because I can go on about this movie.
But here's the thing when it comes to Friday Night Lights and why I just can't stand it. Because there's good acting, it's fine and all, but after watching it, I left mad knowing that they made that feel like the state title game, when in reality that was the state semifinal game, to which Dallas Carter then went on to beat Judson, only to have that state title stripped because of ineligible players, and that was actually a Judson state title.
Exactly. Anthony Pittman reaching out to us saying his top 5 movies of all time for sports, no particular order: Brian's Song, Rocky, Rudy, Field of Dreams, and The Longest Yard.
Rudy, get
sucks.
Rudy out of there.
Rudy's an awful movie, and I've met that man. He's an awful person to be around. He is just no man.
I've never met him, but the movie is just completely overhyped.
There's a sucker born every minute, and he found them all to go watch his movie. Man, that is a terrible movie. Sorry to Notre Dame fans out there, but that legend
replace
is
Rudy,
nonsense.
put the program in there.
There you go. Any Given Sunday was not it for me, man. That's one movie I didn't like. I didn't buy Al Pacino as a coach.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. I didn't take it seriously. I loved Willie Beeman and Al Pacino's speech, the claw for that inch. That was a great movie speech.
Jonathan C. on YouTube, can he play? Which, by the way, reminds me that it got parodied by Not Another Teen Movie. Chris Evans, right?
The wet grain bikini.
Yeah. But I loved the whole parody that they had. I love Not Another Teen Movie. That's a great, great movie. Mr. T coming out and believe in the ball and throw yourself.
Well, and most people, especially people around this area, understand the politics of parents going to the coach and being like, my kid should be playing. If it won for, the coach, my kid would be the starting quarterback. That happens.
Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs says that we're sleeping on The Wrestler. That is a good movie.
It's a good movie.
That's a good movie. Now, here's the thing. As much as I love Varsity Blues, and I'm not trying to rain on its parade
Don't do it
at all. But there's one character, if they were redoing this movie, that if they had to remake this movie 25 years later, that would not be in it, or would be in it, but would only be in it for like 10% of what they were. Tweeter.
No, don't do this.
Tweeter would be canceled.
Do not do
I'm not
this.
saying that I want him canceled. I'm just saying that Tweeter
Are we
is
canceling
kind of
the movie
cringy.
Porky's?
Yes, we are. I mean, come on. We kind of are at this
Has
point.
it been? It's still on TV all the time.
My daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, Gabby, thinks that Jake from 16 Candles, Jake Ryan, thinks that he's a complete scumbag.
Tweeter?
No.
Or Scott Conn?
No. Jake Ryan from 16 Candles, the
Oh,
Molly
okay,
Ringwald movie
okay.
back in the day. As far as this movie is concerned, my daughter did like Varsity Blues. She did enjoy it. But the whole...
We all knew a Tweeter.
But the Tweeter character made her cringe. And it's just a different generation, my man.
Bangville. Can't see my dance. And Bangville. Don't stand no chance.
You
Want to see a new Twitter
dance.
end zone dance?
Okay, let's do this.
Know what I call it? New Twitter end zone dance. I mean, Tweeter was funny. Tweeter was what he was. He was comic relief to the movie for the most part. And just kind of that wild guy on the team. And they all have it.
Frank Valdez on Facebook Live. Jamie's got a gun. Jamie Briggs has got a gun. What a great line from None of the Teen Movie. God, that movie is so good. The slow clap. But that's the great thing about Varsity Blues, is that it takes us back to our youth. And I think the movie still holds up because Friday Night Lights, the actual Friday Night Lights of high school football being played on Fridays, is still a thing. It's still a Texas thing. And these small towns are still small towns. And these characters, although I was a little bit like Mox going to Brown, that kind of threw me off a little bit. I mean, if you put it that he was going to A&M or he was going to going to Brown.
But it was portraying him as getting out of small town Texas, getting out of Texas altogether, going to an Ivy League school.
I get that. They probably could have picked a better school. I mean, it's an Ivy League school. I get that. But a different school. Did they allow them to say that?
You want him to say Cornell?
No, I want him to say that he's going to Duke or he's going to
Yale,
something
Princeton,
like Yale,
Harvard.
Princeton. Yes, because most people don't even know what Brown is. It is an Ivy League school, but it's not one of the most recognizable. This has been fun. We're going to wrap up this show when we come back. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com.
Score $1,000 now. Enter the winning keyword, Texans. TEXANS. Texans at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Listen up, sports fans. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about my favorite sports book, BetUS. Football tonight, football tomorrow, football all the time. And let's not even get started with basketball. It's here. Let's play it. I only endorse one sports book, and that's BetUS.com. You may ask me why. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. It's because they've been around for 25 years. That proves integrity because of the longevity. You need to know you're going to get paid, and they do, on time, on target. You also need to know you're going to play everything you want to play, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all those great props. To join, it's easy. I want you to call 1-800-79-BET-US. That's 1-800-79-BET-US. They'll do the typing, you do the talking, and you'll be laying money tonight. Nobody in the industry gives you bigger bonuses than BetUS, and if you'll join them right now and mention KZDC, you'll get up to 200% in bonuses. That's free money. Go do it. Nobody beats that. I bet at BetUS, so should you. Join BetUS.com today. Start betting tonight with America's favorite sportsbook. That's BetUS.com. Remember KZDC, BetUS.com, where the game begins.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The World Series kicked off last night in Houston with the Astros falling to the Braves 6-2. The starting pitcher for Atlanta, Charlie Morton, left the game with a broken fibula and will be out the remainder of the season. Game 2 is tonight with the first pitch at 7:09. The Los Angeles Lakers came into San Antonio last night and defeated the Spurs in overtime 125-121. LeBron James didn't play due to injury, but Anthony Davis scored 35 and Russell Westbrook dropped 33 to propel the Lakers past the Spurs, who received a triple-double from DeJounte Murray and a career-high 27 points from Jakob Poeltl. And in Dallas last night, the Mavericks knocked off the Rockets 116-106. Luka Doncic led the way with 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. If you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star, well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam. Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. Whether your home is a new build or an older home, Alamo Water Softeners has a water treatment bundle with special pricing to give your home the highest quality water treatment available. Choose from several bundles, including the Premier Whole Home Bundle. Get a free standard gas or electric water heater when you purchase a select top-of-the-line water softener, plus one filter and reverse osmosis system. Go to AlamoWaterSofteners.com. That's AlamoWaterSofteners.com.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. MothersWindowTint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO.
This is the place where time stands still. With each down, there's a battle of inches.
How about 83 yards from Prescott to Elliott?
This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Max Kellerman on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix will be back here at 4 o'clock with the Blitz. He has Maddie Sky from MySA.com. Jay and Slater talking NFL and Cowboys. After that, we have pregame from the World Series Game 2 between the Astros and Braves. 6 o'clock with the first pitch at 7:09. During the commercial break, Pledge tried to convince me not to watch the Kurt Warner movie. How sad. I'm looking forward to it. Premieres on Christmas.
I mean, I'm not saying don't watch it, but the football in it doesn't look good.
Well, I like the actor, Zachary Levi. Hey, this has been fun. I'll be back here on Friday. This is Halftime on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM.
Every football season history is made.
Prescott walks the dog. Touchdown.
Every football season history is written.
Perfect strike to Amari Cooper.
San Antonio Sports Star has been alongside history as the exclusive voice of the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody knows the Cowboys as we do. Not even close. Catch every touchdown and every play here.